I have been wanting to make discussion videos for so long, but I've been so lazy. But it's okay, because I'm back with a sequel / an addendum to my Am I Good for My Osu Rank video. And it's because I've been getting another question all over my Twitch chat, my YouTube comments, even my Osu DMs, and it's one that I think a lot of people might find familiar. Hi Willy, I have X amount of playcount / X amount of playtime. Do you think I have a good amount of skill for the amount of time I've put in? Are my top plays good for having X amount of hours in the game? And it's an impossible question to answer, mainly because I think these players are newer and they misunderstand exactly what these two stats are telling you. Well, most of the time there might be a correlation between, improvement and how many hours you put into the game, and we want there in an idealistic world to be a one-to-one amount of, effort that you put in and skill that you get out. That's just not always the case. To start this off, let's start with definitions. Every single time you play any beat map in this game that is submitted, your play count will increment, whether you pass the map, fail, or whatever else. Same thing with your playtime, just based on how long of the map you played, and there's already nuances that we've missed. A lot of people here coming from other games are used to, like the way that Steam tracks hours / playtime, where all it does is as long as you have the game open, it will add to your playtime. In Osu, it's completely different. If you're on the main menu, that does not add to your playtime. If you're, looking through your library to find new maps, that does not add to your playtime. In fact, if you're playing a map and then you pause, as long as you're on that pause screen, it is not adding to your playtime. It is only the time that you actively spend playing the map in-game. And because of this, it already doesn't line up the way that people expect. There's a few other things such as player behavior that completely change how these line up as well. Imagine two players. One of them is like a retry spamming, farmer type player, and then the other one just wants to play for fun, plays in multi, plays the maps all the way through. Player A is going to get a lot of play count with very little playtime. Because they're not playing the map all the way through, they're probably just retry spamming. They're only adding on, 10 seconds to their playtime, 20 seconds at a time, while adding, +1, +2, +3, +4 to their play count. Player B, however, will only ever be adding +1 to their play count each time that they play, but could be adding 5 minutes to their playtime, 10 minutes if they're playing marathons, things like that. So already, these two different ways that these two players are playing the game completely changes your outlook on these two stats that you're looking at. How are you able to judge the skill level of player A or player B when their stats are completely mismatched? Probably the most important thing to take out of this video is this next point right here. You do not spend 100% of your time playing Osu just trying to improve at the game. If you did, you would be a robot. We all have those times when we're just trying to have fun. We're just trying to goof off, play in a multiplayer lobby with friends. Or we're trying to do something that isn't necessarily pushing our skill level higher, but, it's a score I've wanted for years. Or, I know I can SS this map even though I have a 99% on it already. None of these things are contributing towards your skill level, but it's still contributing towards your play count / playtime. And I've seen so many players feel terrible. They're like, I have so many hours in the game, but I'm not at the skill level I want to be. But would you rather be a robot that's emotionless sitting here trying to gain the most that they can, 100% efficiency out of the game? Or would you like to enjoy the video game that you're playing? You have these moments. It's okay to take pride and, get a score that you've always wanted that isn't necessarily pushing your skill cap. Or playing some fun, goofy map that someone sends you in Twitch chat. It's okay to do these things. Just know that those things also contribute to your play count and playtime, and you shouldn't feel bad just because, you have a quote-unquote inflated number or whatever else. Do I feel shame for nearly having 5,000 hours? Do I feel like I wasted my time? Because not all of it was towards me trying to gain skill in the game? No, man. Look, man, the way I like to look at it is scores are like trophies for you. If you're gaining skill just to get skill, what are you going to have to show for it at the end of the day? And that's why I think doing all these Osu side quests and all these other things that aren't necessarily just skill gaining is so rewarding to me and hopefully other players if they choose to do them. Anyway, my final point, this might not apply to a lot of brand new players, but if you've been around for at least a couple years, then you might find this a little bit interesting. So obviously, play count doesn't always get added to your play count. By that I mean, if you fail a map with less than 10,000 score, it doesn't add to your play count. And that goes back to the way olden days when people were using auto retry bots to just farm as much play count as they could. But people forget that actually things used to be very different. Playtime was not a stat that was added until 2015. The amount of time that you played a map was not tracked until then. And in fact, anybody who's playing before then had their playtime estimated. A complete estimation. Fun fact, there was a bug back then with the time estimation where players who had played a lot of DT actually gained 1.5 times the amount of playtime. The estimations were fixed, but not only was playtime not a thing until 2015, also play count and play time was only considered on ranked, loved, and qualified maps until 2021. You could play an unranked map, you could play unranked maps all day, and it wouldn't add to your play count or play time before then. It was only after 2021 that we've now started gaining towards these stats on, unranked pending maps. So even then, even to this day, there's probably going to be something else that, gets counted in the future, and it throws off, our historical stats completely. So why put all of your weight in these numbers that are just estimations that don't mean what most people think they mean, or they give way too much importance to for no reason? That's my thesis. Am I improving at a good rate? Am I doing this right? Relax, man. You guys are all playing the game right. That is, as long as you keep playing. Play more. Hopefully that clears things up. Hey, and if you like that, let me know what other topics you'd like to hear me discuss, or if you have some Osu hot takes in the comments. I'll see you later.